I am Kiki the First Lady. Hello. I am a radio personality, I'm a media host, and I am an actress. I started out in radio. I've been on radio 24 years. I've been acting for 4 years. They call me Kiki the First Lady because one, Kiki's my nickname, and two, I was the first female to ever do nights in St. Louis urban radio. Before me, women co-hosted morning shows. They might have done middays, maybe done a little traffic and weather on a PM drive, but never had a woman hosted a night show on urban radio in St. Louis when I started back in 1998. Him and Metro Booming are putting together a huge music festival. Don't know when, they're still working out the details, but it's supposed to be mega, big, and I will definitely keep you up on all the details and let you know when to expect this Metro Boomin' Nelly Collab Music Festival, because you know, when I find out, you find out. FOXY 106.9. So that's why they call me the First Lady. I started back in 1998. I was the first female to ever host a night show in St. Louis urban radio, hence the name Kiki the First Lady. What made me fall in love with radio is just the whole essence and everything of it. Now, I never wanted to be on radio. I never had any aspirations to be on radio. I wanted to be a record rep for Def Jam. I was in love with Method Man. I wanted to go to New York and be a record rep. So most of the DJs, Kevy Kev, DJ Cut, they all knew me and they recommended me to be in radio because I was a local record rep, just kind of, you know, doing the little records, local records, working those to the DJs at Magic 108. So when they needed a female to come on and do a night show, they recommended me. And I'm thinking like, okay, it'll look good on my resume for Def Jam. They'll probably fire me in 2 weeks, a month. 24 years later, here we are. But as soon as I opened that mic, the first day I knew that I loved it, and I was a natural at it. And yeah, love radio. Radio's my first love. Above acting, above anything else, radio will always be my first love. Well, the vibe of FOXY 106.9 is so St. Louis, so Illside. It is for just OGs such as myself, like the older listeners that like the throwback, the ladies who like the R&B, and also for my hip hop heads that like a good classic old school hip hop station. It's great for younger kids. You could definitely listen in the car with your children, which is a great thing. You can listen to music. Your children can listen to music. You can teach them about the old school, but it's just a great vibe. We throw a couple blues in there for auntie and uncle and them. It's just a great combination of throwback vibes. We also have current songs on there too. It's just a perfect combination of everything you want to listen to. It's a station you can turn it on and never turn it off. FOXY 106.9, here's my boo thing talking about Chris Brown, wall to wall. Well, one thing people are surprised to learn about me is that I am an honorably discharged veteran from the United States Army. I served my country with pride in the United States Army for 10 years. I was a combat medic, and then I had a secondary MOS, which is your job title, as a veterinary food inspection specialist. But I served for 10 years. I served overseas, and I am a very proud United States Army veteran. I have a lot of good memories in radio, but my favorite would have to be when I finally met Method Man. Everybody knows I am his biggest fan. I got into radio to meet him, and when I started radio, I met everybody. I met, my God, I met Redman, I met Busta Rhymes, I met half the Wu-Tang Clan, but it took me 3 years. I was in radio 3 years before I finally met him. And when I met him, it was a Hard Knock Life tour. Back I think that was 1999, Jay-Z, DMX, Redman, Method Man. It was a great show, and it was like slow motion, you know, like he was coming down the hall, he's backstage. And you know how like in the movies, people are thinking goes like, ooh, like the slow motion, like literally time stood still. I watched this man come down the hall, and I was like, it's him. Oh my God, he just walked up to me, they introduced us, he hugged me, he invited me backstage. There was a lot of people in the dressing room, invited me back there to party with him and his friends, and we have been friends ever since. Definitely highlight of my radio career. Okay, now as far as my acting, I've done an episode of We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. That's on now. I also did an episode that's coming out, season 10, TV1, For My Man. That's coming out soon. I did an episode of Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, season 4. That is coming out. That's going to be episode 10 or 11. Also doing a new show for NBC called Pressure. Filming that in New York this weekend. That's going to be coming out soon. I have a movie on Tubi right now, The Read the Hard Way. I'm starring in that. Also got to give a big shout out to Brenda Hampton, born and raised here in St. Louis, Black Girl Productions. We are shooting a movie here. It's called Gateway to Sin. I play Aunt Linda in that one, and that's coming out as well. Also have some movies from Atlanta, My Neighbor's a Witch. That is coming out also. Just to give you a little rundown of the stations I worked at. I started out on 88.1, shout out to Sylvester the Cat, St. Louis Community Radio. Went from 88.1 to Magic 108, went from Magic 108 to 100.3 The Beat. I left, went to Atlanta, Wild 96.7. All right, then I went to Nashville as a program director, okay, and that was 100 The Beat in Nashville, and I went from starting to program director. I've made program director in 2.5 years. I don't know anybody in radio that became a program director in 2.5 years. It takes people years to be a program director. I made program director in 2.5 years down in Nashville. Then I came back to 95.5, and then I was back on the Beat for a minute until the Beat went off the air, unfortunately, and I was one of the first original DJs on the Beat when it signed on in 1999, and I was the only original DJ on the Beat when it signed off, which was so sad. I'm still sad about that. Then I took a little break, and now I'm back on FOXY 106.9. Favorite memories? I have great memories of every station I've ever been at. I can't pinpoint, but one thing I will say about Nashville, the station Nashville, when I was a program director, I won the best new startup station of the year that we signed on the year we signed on the air, which was awarded to me by my fellow program directors and Doc Love. Big up to Doc Love, and that was a major accomplishment and milestone for me. Well, current state of hip hop, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of like, lyricists, like Rakim and Wu-Tang Clan, lyricists really saying something, like an Eminem, storytellers like Biggie, you know what I'm saying? That's my forte. But some of the newer stuff I like, you know what I'm saying? I do like it. I like, Sexy Red. I like Poor Boy Never Be Broke Again. I think that's his name. But some of the newer rappers, I can bounce to it. I can vibe to it. I just, I keep up on everything new. But, it's different than what I grew up on, hip hop. But it is what it is for 2026. Definitely like 90s, like, the red, black, and the green. You know what I'm saying? That was really like when we had that power to the people hip hop. That would be great if they could bring that back. But I think hip hop is so far gone away from that. It would take a whole new generation. I don't think this generation will ever do that. They just too into, pop that thing, do that thing, partying, and they just like to rap about what they got, partying, kicking, how many men they got, how much money they got, how many women they got. They in the club, they popping bottles, they rolling in this car. I don't think that they will ever come out of that. I think it might be up to the next generation to really bring back that power to the people hip hop we had in the 90s. Really. I think it's very important because a lot of these young people that I talk to in their 20s, they've never heard of Sugar Hill Gang. They old to them, and I asked this girl who's 22 today, I said, so what's old school hip hop to you, like Lil Wayne? And she was like, yeah. So they really don't know. So I think it's very important for aunties, uncles, moms, dads to, teach your children about hip hop, the origins of hip hop, and teach them about that. And the little ones too, so they'll know about it. So they could be the next generation of conscious hip hop. and to take it forward, because I kind of feel like we went backwards a little bit. It's a message to my viewers. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone who's ever supported me, who currently supports me. I've been in the game since 1998. I've had a lot of struggles and a lot of things I had to overcome in this industry. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who rocks with me, who supports me. St. Louis, Illside, I appreciate you to the moon and back. You keep me relevant, you keep me motivated, and everything I do for you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And we gonna keep rocking, baby. 26 and beyond. Thank you. St. Louis is the best mix of R&B and throwbacks. FOXY 106.9, that's going to do it for me and Kiki The First Lady. That's my time. Wrap It Up show is up next. Then you got The Quiet Storm with the Teddy Bear. Then don't miss the Darius Bradford morning show along with April Simpson, 6 a.m. in the morning. Then you got your middays. Then we're going to come back and do Weekend Eve, baby. You know, we got to kind of pull back on that. But it's the Weekend Eve, and we're going to do it big. 3 o'clock right here. FOXY 106.9. Join me tomorrow, okay? All right. Peace.